Go for it.
Oh yeah, 3 pre-rolls on a special holiday edition. We're dressed up, looking nice. Starting the show with Athletic Greens, who's going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Visit athleticgreens.com/JRVP for a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. That's athleticgreens.com/JRVP. With the holidays just around the corner, you might be wondering how you're going to make ends meet and shower your loved ones with gifts. Dave can help you. Download the Dave app from the App Store right now, or go to dave.com. Sign up for an extra cash account and get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking provided by Evolve Bank and Trust, member FDIC. Thank you to Black Buffalo. If you're 21 or over and you dip or chew tobacco, pouches or long cut, try this tobacco alternative, Black Buffalo. Head to blackbuffalo.com. Find out where you can get the Black Buffalo at a store near you, now in stores. If you're already a fan or want to try out the product before getting it at a local store, head to blackbuffalo.com. You can use the promo code JRVP at checkout for 25% off your first order. That's the best offer you'll find. Have to use the code JRVP for 25% off your first order. One last time, that's promo code JRVP at blackbuffalo.com for 25% off your order. Excited about this one. We got Anthony's favorite states, nose biting, and the best books, movies, and TV, all coming up in our special year-end episode 186 of the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project.
JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
Aw, shit. I'm about to turn Obama.
You know this one's gonna rock when I don't fuck up the intro.
Yeah, that's the first.
It's exciting.
It's going to be a good one. Do you get my quote? I'm about to turn Obama.
No, I'm at that point. I'm so focused on the buttons now. I'm not gonna really react as well as I did before.
You didn't react great before. You would just be like, "What's that from?" I don't know.
I still don't know.
It's Obama, 44th president. I'm turning 44. Today's the 20th. I'll turn 44 on the 22nd.
Yeah.
So that's my Obama year. You know, when I'm 45, it'll be my Trump year. 46, my Biden year. 47 will be Trump year again. It's going to be great.
What that would be sad. What are you doing in your first Trump year?
Like in my first 45?
Yeah, when you're 45, then what does that mean for that year? Like, year of the goat, everyone knows, is very peaceful.
Is that
you munch on a lot of grass. Like, yeah, what is 45 Trump year?
Spray tan.
The Biden year? Biden 46?
Aviator sunglasses all the time.
I mean, that's not too far off.
No, I get more naps. It'll be great.
Although you now have, they're not really aviators. You have, 20 different pair of these, like, one-of-a-kind sunglasses?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got a lot.
It's ridiculous.
I keep almost giving them away. I almost gave them away as Kirsten's presents, and Liz was like, "No, this is way too nice a gift to give someone. I'll take them."
I'm kind of like that now, but with jackets, because on NFL Network, that's now my just go-to with a T-shirt and a jacket. So I have a million different jackets. And right now, I decided to dress up and wear my father-in-law's jacket that he gave me right off of his back, because I don't have any family around me. This is the closest that I can get.
Would you say that's the nicest thing Emeka's dad ever gave you?
No, he's given me other clothes right off his back that I also enjoyed.
He also gave you his daughter. That's why it was a trap. You got trapped. Yeah, I wore a jacket, like a sport coat and T-shirt for like a leg of a tour, being like, I'm so sick of these button-down shirts. Let me just throw T-shirts and then it'll be easier. And I look like shit. A button-down always looks better. I hate them. I only own like two.
I wear normal jackets usually, not like a sport coat, but this one's cool. So I like it.
Yeah, it's cool.
So people got to check us out on YouTube. And yeah, as I mentioned at the top here, we're taking next week off. It'll be right after Christmas.
We have to. I think everyone's taking next week off. Like, we would have come in if we could have, but the offices are closed. Like, no one's doing podcasts Christmas week. So this is it. This is it for the year.
Unless you work for the NFL. You got old Roger Goodell scheduling 3 games on Christmas, 11 on Christmas Eve, Monday Night Football the day after.
Thank God for that. Thank God. Anyone who's got to sit with their family is like so happy there's 4 football games on Christmas Day. I'd be thrilled. I mean, there's no good games. My game is Christmas Eve. I don't know if we're gonna. Greg and I are like figuring out our Christmas plans. Where Liz leaves. Liz's birthday is tomorrow. I'm taking her out. Then at midnight, it's my birthday. It's Jessel time, and we do my plans. And then she leaves the next morning to go home for a week. And then Rummy is going away.
Whoa!
Rummy's getting his own little vacation on the 23rd to the 26th, so it frees me up time for Greg. That Greg can come to my place and not get eaten up. So maybe you come to my place to watch the games. Maybe go to your place. I'm happy doing either one. Maybe see a movie. I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger on Avatar, but we'll see. I would like to go see Avatar.
I'm not really feeling Avatar.
I know. You're the worst person to try to get to go with.
Maybe the only way I would ever go and see it, though, is with you. So maybe just to know what the people are talking about. I suggested Women Talking, if it's out in theaters by then. Maybe just have some spirits or whatever before seeing that movie about a group of Mennonite women who were raped in their sleep and then have to figure out how to get out of it. I recommended it a couple years ago on this very episode, the year-end episode. One of the best books I've read in the last 5 years by Miriam Taves.
I heard though that in Avatar 2: Way of the Water, that it's a lot like Women Talking. That the Mennonite avatars are getting raped in their sleep. And they have to come together to try to. What are they? They come together to try to stay awake for a long time.
No, what do you? No, they're
coming awake to make coffee.
Figure out what to do. Figure out how to fight back or get out of the situation. It's directed by Sarah Polley, who I love, so I'm excited.
Sounds like a nightmare.
I am excited for it, but it's probably not a Christmas movie.
Sounds like a Nightmare on Elm Street situation. Where they're all just trying to keep themselves awake. Coffee, burning cigarettes on their arm, and then they fall asleep, and it's like, it's Freddy Krueger. I shouldn't have been a Mennonite. Mennonites are never good news.
I hate that I brought this up, and it sounds like I'm almost making light of it. When the book was great art and powerful, and I think the movie's going to be good too.
Well, how does it end? Is it
I'm not telling you. You got to see it. You got to read it. I would read it first if anyone is
just one guy?
in this.
Is it just one guy who's plowing through the Mennonite women while they sleep, or is it like a bunch of dudes?
It's not just one guy. It's like they don't really know because they're asleep. But I think you're meant to understand it's more than one. The movie starts there, so I'm not giving anything away.
Do you think it kind of sets up like a unrealistic expectation that Mennonites are the deepest sleepers? I don't. You've told me what it's about. I don't understand it. I don't get it. But I don't have to. It's my Christmas. It's my year. It's my birthday.
Rooney Mara's in this. Claire Foy, Jesse Buckley. Good cast.
Better cast than Avatar 2. I'm having a good week. My assistant started. Miss Kim started on Monday. She's coming. She meets me at my place. Takes the dog. Takes him for a little walk so they can bond. And when I brought Rummy down to meet her in the lobby on Monday. And he saw her and ran up to her and jumped up like he does when he gets really excited about someone. You're gonna be treats, you're gonna be fun. That I was very happy. We walked them together, and then this morning she came and just took him. Just came to the front door, took him, went out, came back. And I was like, here's all the shit you got to do for me. It's awesome.
And what type of stuff? It's clerical stuff. It's errands?
I mean, it's a little bit of what my manager's office was doing that she's now going to take over. That getting flights for myself for my opener for this tour coming up, appointments, doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, vet appointment, different things I've got to have taken care of. So now it's when I have stuff for her to do. She'll work this week, she'll get next week off, and then come back with a vengeance in January. But I'm going to run out of stuff real fast. That I'm it's how much can I don't know if maybe I'll give her some stuff. Maybe she can go through the emails.
I could use some help. The Rosenthal Operation, I've been helped out by Emeka here, going through the emails, the links. Feel like maybe she could help there.
She could. I mean, I'm running out of stuff already, so anything that we can give to her to do.
Why is Rummy treat me like I'm Freddy Krueger anytime I come up to the house, even though I'm your oldest friend here? We're best friends, and I've met him many times.
He's great. He's great to you in your place. You come into my place.
No, he's not. He ran around the whole house, and Walker still tells that story about how Rummy ran around the house and he went for the hills. Do you remember
Walker
that?
went for the hills?
Yeah, they ran away because Rummy started just running around our house like crazy. You're trying to keep him outside. You don't remember this?
Dogs get the zoomies, man. Zoomies are okay. Was it your place or was that in San Diego when I got the Airbnb?
No, it was in Santa Monica. Yeah, I think he was out. You were keeping him in the front or the back. I don't remember. We took a walk, and then like the door opened, and he just like ran around the house. Walker still remembers it.
He likes running around. Rummy's cool. I think you give off bad vibes. Rummy's like a very inquisitive. He knows people, but he likes girls. He's happy with girls, and you didn't go through the training that this girl went through with Rummy. If Rummy's trainer hooked up with you, and you guys took Rummy through some stuff, then maybe he would like you more. But you don't give a good, you act scared. He can read that.
Right. And if I give off those bad vibes, she's not going to hook up with me.
You're taking my words literally.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Emeka. Do you think what are the chances Emeka's listening to this in Japan?
It is not happening.
No.
I think she's listened to us less lately.
Had my last Largo of the year. I'd taken a couple months off while I was on the road and did Largo last weekend. Great show, really fun. I had some people booked, and then Mark Maron just showed up, walked in off the street, and was like, "Wait, is it Saturday?" I'm like, "No, it's Friday, Mark." He's like, "Oh." I'm like, "Do you want to go up?" He's like, "Yeah, I want to go up." And I was like, "All right, cool." It was fun. It was a good show. Now I'm almost done for the year. I had a show last night.
Do you think he really showed up on the wrong day?
Yes, he thought it was. And I think the owner of Largo told him the wrong day. He was like, "They're right," and he had a show at the store later on, but he was going to try to drop in. But that was a fun time. I did a show last night where I got to give things away, and now I'm done until I think I have the rest of the week off, and then next week I'm doing like a show on the 30th. At a thing called Jam in the Van in LA, where I don't like doing New Year's shows. It's lonely. But they're doing a big show on the 30th that I'll make a fuck ton of money and just go in and bang that out. And then I'm done until I go to Spokane in the first weekend of the year. But I've got...
What do you mean New Year's shows are lonely? Like
New Year's shows.
What are you doing on New Year's?
Liz and I'll figure something out. But it's like, I remember I did a New Year's weekend in Philadelphia one year. And midnight, I'm on stage. Like I do my set and then I walk off, like wait till it's almost midnight, come out, do the countdown. And I remember just like counting down to 1, and then everyone in the audience is like making out, and then I'm like on stage just standing there by myself, like hugging my feature act, and I was like, never again. I've done in New Year's shows where it's like a bunch of friends doing something in like San Francisco, and that's fun because you're with people. But I don't want to be on stage counting down at midnight. But I went to the Comedy Store Christmas party or holiday party on Sunday night, and Liz is an employee at the Comedy Store now. And they invite comics, but not a lot of comics go. It's mostly for the employees, as rightly so. But I get invited, Liz is like, come with me. So we go, and I'm like, well, just stop in. Let's just stop in, say hello, and get out of here. But it's a different party for me than it is for her. Everyone's trying to like network with me, and she's just like catching up with friends. But I get in there, I'm sober, Liz is sober. Food's pretty good, but they're singing karaoke. And it's comedians singing karaoke, which is like the worst thing in the world. For the most part, there were some talented people in there, but some really bad. And then one of the employees brought like a mushroom tea or like a mushroom lemonade and was pouring it out to people in glasses. So everyone I'm talking to is either drunk as shit or tripping on mushrooms. And I'm about to lose my mind. Like, I'm like, Liz, we've got to get the fuck out of here. And not thinking like, hey, Liz, you stay, I'm going to take off. But I'm like, I got to get out of here, Liz. And she's like, all right, 30 minutes. I'm like, okay. Run into Bobby Lee, my friend. We go sit in the corner and we talk for 25 minutes. He's like, I got to get out of here. I get it. I go up to Liz. I'm like, Liz, it's been half an hour. Let's go. She's like, let me just eat something real fast. So I go back in. I get stuck in another conversation. Someone's talking about like gambling or some shit I don't do, but it's high on mushrooms. And I'm just like trying to get out of this conversation. They're singing karaoke. I'm watching Liz make these tacos that are from a taco bar, taking her forever because she keeps talking to people. And I'm like just holding it together. And then she has the tacos. Finally, I'm like, all right, she'll eat these in a couple minutes and we can leave. She's just talking to someone else. And for 10 minutes, I'm watching her hold the tray of tacos up like next to her face, not even thinking about eating them, just talking to this guy for 10 minutes. And finally, I lose it. And I'm like, Liz, we need to go now. She's like, holy shit. Like, all right. Finishes her tacos, we get in the car, and she's like, why did you yell at me in front of that guy I was talking to? It's like a friend of mine. You just like yelled at me to leave. And I was like, I've been watching you since you were like, let me eat these tacos and we'll leave. And it's like just killing me that you're just not even you're not even thinking about eating them. You're just talking. And we get in such a fight that by the time I get home, she just took the Uber back to the party. And I went upstairs and I was like, I was like, please go back to the party. Go back. I hated that party. I understand why you loved it. Please go back. And she did. And now we're good. But I was about to lose my goddamn mind.
Are you good?
Oh yeah.
I would think about birthday night. You know, your big policy is once it turns into midnight, Jessel time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that night, it's sort of a combined thing. It's Liz time.
No.
It's Liz time and Jessel time. Vig and Jessel time.
No.
For that, and then you go to sleep, and then it's Jessel time.
Mm-mm. Right at midnight.
Because I feel like you don't think you have to make up for your behavior here, but maybe. Did she have the mushroom drink? I thought that's how the story ended, that one of you ended up with it.
When we talked about it, she understood, like, what, because I was like, you said, let me eat the tacos and then we'll go. And then just didn't eat the tacos, just held them there. That's why I lost it.
But that happens all the time. You get in a conversation and you're just holding.
Listen, you take away the mushrooms from all the employees that are talking to me. You take away the karaoke. You know, maybe I'm in a little better mood. But it was all those things combined. I'm like, I never should have gone to the party. But we're totally fine. But last night, I took her out with her roommates for her birthday. You know, she's getting multiple nights this week for her birthday. She's got to work tonight. Thank God I get the night off to chill. But then I'm going hard on her actual birthday. But at midnight, it's not like it's just another day where I'm like, your birthday's over. Now it's my birthday. Nothing's cutting into that. I want 24 hours of funk. What do you get me for my birthday?
Are we still doing that? Should I be getting you things? Should I get you something?
You don't have to get me some crazy thing, but you could get me like, hey, this is for you.
I thought about it. Now I feel like I had a good idea, and now I forget completely.
Maybe I'll get you a pair of sunglasses for my private collection.
It's hard. This Christmas season, like right in the middle of the season, it's just like it's hard to figure out.
I'm going to, for my birthday, I got myself tickets to a hockey game. I'm going to see Kings Flames. I was like, is there an event? Is there a Laker game or something I can go to on my birthday just to do something? And because my birthday's not a big deal, but I like to do something. And it was Kings Calgary. And I'm like, let's go. But all I have is Penguin stuff. So I bought a Kings hat, an LA Kings hat. And I feel really weird wearing it.
You don't have to wear anything.
I know, but
I went to Celtics Lakers last week and didn't wear anything. I would have, but then I realized I think the only thing I have, it was too late. And it was a Kemba Walker sweatshirt, which I only bought because it's my son's name.
I like a hat. Then I feel more connected to the team. I'm part of it, you know?
Sounds like a nice birthday. Now you're putting the heat on me. I feel like I did have a good idea for you. And I actually held back because I was just like, oh, no, it's weird. And, we're at the point people stop giving gifts. I heard Jeff Van Gundy, the NBA broadcaster, say on a telecast when they asked him, oh, have you got your gifts for Christmas? And he said, no, I've graduated from giving gifts. And I thought, that's quite a concept. They were amazed by it. They had a lot of questions for him. And he's like, no one's given me a gift in years. And I just think at a certain age, you graduated, you don't have to give any more gifts. It seems like a bit much. I have kids. I want to keep them in the mix. But I like his style.
So he doesn't have an assistant who gets gifts and is like, here you go. I would think you'd be like, all right, I need gifts for these people. Someone goes out and does it, and then you're set up.
He's in his 60s at this point, so I don't think he gives a fuck. But his point was like, no one's given me a gift in years. Literally no one. If anyone starts giving me gifts again, like they'll get some gifts. But at this point, no more gifts.
We'll go out for steak dinner. I'll let you take me out for a steak dinner for my birthday. That would be perfect.
That was what I thought of. Yes.
And now that I'm not drinking anymore, it's like I don't feel bad about you paying that bill. Before I'd be like, listen, I'm not making you buy this $200 bottle of wine that you're not going to touch.
Yeah, but now that I got got this new contract, I feel like I should make up for these 50 dinners. I'm not going to make up, but I'll at least start paying my share that you've paid for me over the years.
I only always paid the share because I was drinking and you weren't, or it was your birthday. So now that I'm not drinking, it's much more manageable.
Not drinking during the holidays you do feel weird. I went out with our friend Lakeisha. She was in town for a holiday party, and we were at a bar, and you did definitely feel like. And there's our NFL holiday party, like the big NFL holiday party is tonight, and it's always a little weirder if you're not drinking.
It is. It's not nearly as like I don't want to hang out and do things. I'm like happy to go and see people and say hello, but then I'm getting out of there. You're not hanging out at the party all night.
Depends who you're. Yes, in this situation, yes. The Saturday night was beautiful. It was like the one day since my family's left. They have left town. That like my life was different for a day. I got to watch a little football. And I went out with Lakeisha and our friend Isha, and it was like all the lights are on, and you're watching that Bills-Dolphins game in the snow, and it was, that's the good stuff. It's the family holiday stuff.
That was a fun game, the Bills-Dolphins. I wanted 4 quarters of that snow. You got like 1 quarter at the end. That would have been amazing to watch that game. But I was into it. What else? What else you got in the week before I move it on?
But right before the family went, I did want to mention this because a viewer had asked us, listener, like, do we ever get starstruck in cases? Like, maybe not covering athletes, but other people. And the family and I went to the Grove to a book signing for Naomi Osaka last week. I have a picture. Have I sent you the picture?
I don't think so.
She looks like our, tall adult daughter. Although she's, I guess, about halfway between Ellis. She's about 25 years old. But we bought tickets to the thing, and I was definitely, I don't know if starstruck, but I was nervous going up to the front. Because ultimately, here I am with my family. We got the great picture. She was very nice, but I've never done anything like that in my life. And we were there ultimately because of me, even though she had a kid's book. It was like, I'm the big fan. They thought it was cool, too, but we were there because of me.
How much were tickets to this?
$25. You just had to buy the book.
For the whole family?
No, 25 each.
Oh, wow.
Well, 25 per book, so the kids were free. So we had to buy $2, like a book. You have to buy a book per two per two.
And
people.
how many people are in this line to meet her?
It wasn't that crazy.
And is it
was like
families?
15 minutes,
Is it
but we were
families and
probably the end
kids,
of it.
or is it like hardcore tennis dudes? Because I would think she's thrilled to see a husband, wife, and 2 kids come up.
She was,
as opposed to what she's got to deal with most of the time.
She was. It was mostly. It was a lot of couples. I would say it was a lot of couples, and some families, and some like tennis kids, and but yeah, not too many like families. But it was awesome. She's my favorite.
And were the
She
kids
was very
pumped?
nice. Yeah, they were excited.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's about it, though.
I don't think you could do any more. And now it's time for Did We Get Any Notes?
Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes?
I wish that was longer. Aaron, are you on mic?
I am on mic.
All right, here's the note we keep getting. We keep getting why does Aaron not hit the buttons for the sound cues throughout the episode? Why is Gregg doing it if Gregg is bad at it? Because there's no way I'm ever going to do it. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows. Even if it was easier for me to do, I would not do it. I will not do it. I stand my ground. Gregg is not good at it.
I'm getting better, though. I'm on fire today.
Yep.
Like, I think the future of the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity project,
JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
is looking up because, I'm nailing it today.
Yeah, and Gregg's going to keep doing it. But Aaron, I want you to tell the people into the mic why you can't do it.
I mean, physically?
Yeah, when we came in here, you were like, originally, to start using you as a producer, you're like, yeah, you're going to have to do that yourself. I won't be able to do that. And I was just like, oh, okay. And now I truly don't understand why you can't do it.
Originally, when you came in here, I was going to be switching cameras live, which I do for every other show. Now that we're at this juncture where we're at the split screen, I probably could.
Okay. So you could hit the junior vice president. You say ad copy, and you could hit. Now it's time for this, and you could hit that thing.
I could, yeah.
All right. I think maybe in the new year, maybe when I'm 44, then I might make you do that.
I think Gregg's nailing it.
How old are you? How old are you, Aaron?
40.
40. Okay. So I am above you.
Yeah.
Gregg is above you. We can make you do whatever we want.
He's almost in his Obama year. I mean, he's finishing off
My Bush year.
Bush 2 years.
We both panicked. It was like, oh fuck, who was president? What's going on?
I also thought I asked Aaron, like, does any other show do that? And the answer was no. And so I think I felt bad, because not to get too deep into it, but it's like Aaron works for All Things Comedy. Technically, he doesn't work for us, so I felt like bad making him do stuff other podcasts weren't
But
doing.
now that Aaron's got the split screen going, because Aaron was just like, oh yeah, and I know it's super fucking tough to cut between 2 cameras live. I know it's like, I know it's almost impossible. We don't know how you did it, but now that you flipped it to split screen, put your dick in your hand and just kick back and wait to say ad copy, I think you can totally do musical cues. What do you think?
Sure.
Aaron, what'd you get me for my birthday?
We're still doing the podcast.
Okay. Well, I think we got me for my birthday is music cues.
Are we, is Anthony, because I'm not including myself, a bigger asshole to you than any other host at the network here, Aaron?
No.
No.
Who's the biggest? And how many are bigger than me? Because we have a playful thing going. I can't imagine you would ever be upset with me leaving here.
No.
We're cool. Yeah. I've seen people in comments be like, Anthony's so mean to Aaron. I'm not. If I'm nicer to, like, you see how I treat Gregg. Gregg is my best friend. Mm-hmm. So if I'm like treat anyone worse than Gregg, you'd be like, oh my God, he does hate them. But I treat everyone a little bit better than I treat Gregg. So that means your family.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
part of it.
But not in real life, just on this podcast. I don't know what that is about you that you just have to do that.
Yeah, it's my shtick, as I like to say.
I remember I once said the word shtick around you, and you like didn't speak to me for a month.
I hate it.
Everyone just said it.
Everyone in comedy, yes, like sarcastically. Everyone in comedy hates the word shtick. Everyone. No one likes it, no matter what. And that was, did we get any notes?
And that was, did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? Notes. Did we get any notes? Did we get any notes?
That's a good one.
We're really cranking up the production value with our dances today.
Now it's time for Email Corner.
Email corner. Emails are a thing. Email corner. It's email corner.
Damn, I want to hit a perfect game this episode and then retire.
Yeah, you're bowling 300 as we're speaking. Yeah, emails are a thing. We get them. You send them to us. You ask questions. You give us scenarios. Gregg compiles a bunch of those. Maybe we'll have Aaron do that in the new year too.
No,
maybe we'll have Aaron.
That's too far. No,
maybe we'll have Aaron do the emails.
No.
And
maybe that was the thing that I knew was a step too far, that he wasn't doing for other shows, like any pre-show prep. But the hitting the button's not pre-show. Yeah,
I think I'm going to have the emails forwarded to Aaron anyway. And then Aaron and I are going to switch seats next year. We get emails from you guys. I narrow them down. We pick maybe 3, maybe 4 if they're short. This week we got 3. So Gregg, shine these emails.
Yeah, you can email us at jrvpjuniorvicepresident@gmail.com. I appreciated all the people that sent headlines this week. I asked for more headlines, and we got way more headlines than a normal week. So keep sending those headlines even while we're gone. Keep buying our merch, too. You can check that out at Anthony's website if you want a late Christmas present or just, a New Year's present. Let's make that a thing. All right, our first email.
And if you want to buy me a present, buy yourself a present. Buy our merch for you in your size and have it sent to your address.
Our first email, this is just letting us know, and I wanted to say it. There's no question to it, but it was a listener of ours named Andy who just, after hearing our news story last year about the manure hole, the manure pit.
The shit pit.
The shit pit.
Someone drowned in a shit pit.
He told us a story and sent links with the news articles about them that his 66-year-old mother in the UK got stuck in a manure hole last year. So I guess this is a thing that happened. He said it was not bones and all. She got stuck up to her waist and got stuck there, but she was able to call for emergency services. So I just thought that was a fun email to get from Andy.
That reminds me of bones and all. I can't believe I didn't bring it up top. Aaron, did you say bones and all this week at all? In the past week?
No, I did not.
You never once said it? I've said it a lot. I've been saying it all the time. I love it. I enjoy it a lot. You know who hates it? Liz. Liz is sick of me saying bones and all.
But she was in on it at first.
No, she went to see Bones and All, the movie, but then when I started doing it, she was just like, I wish you'd stop. And now she's kind of like past that. It's like my humor sometimes, it's like, I hate this, and then like, okay, and now it's funny. That she's kind of on the upswing. But I really enjoy saying Bones and All, and I've enjoyed the online comments of people trying to make Bones and All thing.
Oh, yeah. I posted something on Instagram, like a photo completely unrelated to this podcast, and half the comments were like, oh, that photo's Bones and All, or some sort of reference to Bones and All. I made a Bones and All reference on my other podcast around the NFL today. No one responded, but hopefully if you listen to that podcast and the Jeselnik and Rosenthal Vanity Project, JRVP.
Junior Vice President.
You fucked that up. What was that?
Fun. I started laughing because it's fun to see, like, as you start to say the name of the podcast, I see your fingers creeping over, like you're getting your eyes upfield before you got the ball in your hands. But yeah, keep saying Bones and All. It's fun. Make it fun. Just be like, oh, that's Bones and All, and let them figure out what you mean. It's cool. Bones and All is cool. It's going to be the saying of 2023.
I just feel like I was in college with you, and you would come up with plots like this or things that you wanted to happen. And I would definitely go along with it. But here's the end of the story. No one else is going to.
No,
it's just Anthony
but
in me.
But during college, I would do things a lot that I would be like, okay, I've got this saying I'm going to use, but I wouldn't try to get other people to say it too. It was like, this is my saying, just appreciate it. This is like, I want the world to know about Bones and All.
All right, our first email is from Tommy from Wisconsin. He asks, the Roastmaster General Jeff Ross and Joe Rogan were recently featured on the latest Freddie Gibbs album. Did not know that. I like Freddie Gibbs. Being fans of hip-hop, which rap artists would you like to work with if given the chance? Is there an existing album, skit, song with a comedian featured that is your favorite? Obviously, that's excluding you on Your Old Droog.
I mean, I like all rap skits. I think they're always funny. The thing that makes me that puts a rap skit over the top for me is sound effects. Like when you hear the person walking in the room, you know, when they just do too much. You hear like the walking. It's like, hey, John, what's up? Like, hey, man, how's it going? Like, you hear like a can open up, like, like yeah, that always makes me laugh. The more involved you can get without really explaining what's happening. A lot of times, there's like a fight in the studio. You know, it ends with a gunshot. I always like those. Like, I can't think of a really good one, but I would do a skit on any rap album, almost any album. Period. If they're like, hey, we want you to do this thing, it's so easy. It's so fun. It doesn't have to be good. I don't care. That I would gladly do. I did hear that Freddie Gibbs album. I texted Jeff Ross when I heard him on there, and that was easy. He just made a phone call. It was like call and leave a voicemail. We'll put it on the album. That I just think it's great, and you never worry about being funny. It's just like, let's just do whatever. It's not going to be good, and then put it out there. But I don't know if I have a favorite rap skit. I think they're all kind of bad in a way that's charming. That I like it.
I bet if I went back and like listened to Outkast albums, I could come up with one. But one immediately popped to mind because I heard it recently. It's Hannibal Buress on the Chance the Rapper Christmas album, which sounds like you probably would not want to listen to that. But I listened to the shit out of it like 5 years ago, really for a few Christmases straight. And he's pretty hilarious. I think he's on the first song. And he just clearly didn't, I don't think, planned it ahead of time. And he's just like, Christmas. Being obligated to buy shit at a certain time of year, and just like is making up shit as he goes along, and then he starts auto-tuning, and it was delightful, like Hannibal Buress often is.
See, Hannibal Buress has one of my least favorites because it's on one of my favorite songs, and you can't get it away from the song. And there's a Cool Kids song. I forget what the song is called, but it's the first song on one of their albums, one of their newer albums. And I love the song, but it starts with Hannibal Buress like just riffing on the Cool Kids for like a minute, and I hate it.
It's good to have it at the end of the song. He does this at the end of the song, so yes, you could just skip the end. But I do like hearing like his auto tune of just like commercialism or something like that.
It sounds great.
Our next question's from I don't know who. Sarah. She asks that she was in a situation where she was talking you up as an amazing comedian. Person asked what his comedy was like. That's funny. That happened to me just this week in the makeup chair. So I hope I got you a new fan. And she said Anthony's a great joke writer. She asked what your jokes are about, and she froze and said stuff like dead babies. I know one of your baby jokes is about dropping babies, but you do talk about abortion, so just decided to not lead with that. My question is, Anthony, how would you describe your comedy to someone to try to hook them if they have no idea who you are? Same question for Greggy and an Aaron too, if he wants to chime in.
Let's go. Aaron, how would you describe my comedy?
Like dark one-liners.
Okay. Greg, what do you say?
That was basically my answer. Was like dark humor, and if you needed a reference, I was like, if you like Stephen Wright, you probably a more modern one. You probably like Anthony.
I would say like short, smart, dark jokes. If you're just like, I don't like dark, it's like, well, there's smart, dark jokes. I think smart and dark has to be in there. But starting with dead babies, it's like you either lose them or gain them at that point. Some people are like really into dead baby jokes, some people are not. But it's like that's the most extreme I think that I get. That just smart, dark jokes.
If
you
someone
like smart
led with
humor,
dead babies to me, though, I feel like I'd be neutral. I'd give that doesn't rule it out, but I'm not on deadbabies.com every day looking for jokes or anything.
You should be. Deadbabies.com is one of the best websites for humor that there is. It's like college humor, but for adults. I think if someone told me there was like these are smart dead baby jokes, I'd be psyched. I'd be like, let me in that door. I want to party with those dudes. So that to me. If like smart dark dead baby jokes turns you off, I don't need you. If it turns you on, come over to my place. I'm Obama.
You're George Bush right now still for a few more days.
I know.
It's disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
Yoakum. We'll go with that. Yoakum Noah. Is that how you say it? It's spelled the same way. Big fan of both around the NFL and JRVP.
Joachim, maybe? When I was in
Joachim,
German class in the 7th grade, we got to pick our own German names, and my name was Joachim.
Yeah, like the American way we say that is Joakim Noah, but it doesn't. I don't know if that's right. Sorry, Gregg. Even though he's a fan of Around the NFL. Question just for Anthony. You've traveled around the world performing. Are there big differences between different countries and states in terms of what people are laughing at or grinding their teeth at?
A little bit. I found that when I went on my European tour on the last one, they kind of like got it more. Like they kind of enjoyed the wordplay of it. They understand English better than they can speak it for the most part, and so they got they got the subtleties of the language that I use. And there was nothing
Where
that they
this?
were Europe, like all
Throughout
over, like
Europe.
yeah, throughout Europe. Even if it was like, oh, I'm in Berlin right now, they don't speak a lick of it. Like they laughed at everything, they got everything. That I had no problems in Europe. The only time I've ever seen like, oh, this doesn't play as well here is the South. The South is like, I've gotten yelled at in Texas during like the Thoughts and Prayers tour. People getting really upset that I was like kind of talking shit on Thoughts and Prayers. The abortion bit did not go over as big in Texas. Alabama, I did a show in Alabama in Birmingham on my last tour. And I liked it a lot because everyone came. You see like old people in the crowd that I wouldn't normally see at other cities. But they're like, we're in Birmingham. A comedian's coming, let's go see him. And it was going great up until the abortion bit. And then they like truly turned on me. But in a way that like they realize it's their fault. Like they're not like heckling. They're just kind of like, we got to do this now. That the South is the one place that I notice some jokes are much differently received than others. Not everywhere. You know, Nashville, New Orleans, those places aren't really Texas or not really the South. But a Birmingham, anywhere in Texas, really, it's a little different. But yeah, I was surprised in Europe how nothing was different. They get every reference. There's no subject that's off. Actually, what there was something. I don't know if it was like, no, like the abortion thing went fine. Even like Ireland and shit, they were cool with it.
Holocaust stuff fine in Germany and whatnot?
Oh yeah, I remember I got a huge laugh because I had like a Nazi joke. And I forget what the joke was. It was like a Hitler joke, and then I laughed. I never laugh at my own jokes, but in Berlin, I was like dying laughing afterwards. And I just remember saying, I don't normally laugh at my own jokes, but when in Rome, and they like loved that. They were like, "Yep, we did that shit."
Those Southern audiences, like they thought they were coming to a comedian whose jokes were bones and all, but you were bones and all.
It's true. That was bones and all. The bones and all tour. That's what I should call it.
That'd be awesome. Please.
Yeah. And that was Email Corner. Shine on, you crazy email.
And that was Email Corner. Diamonds around the world unite. Diamonds around the world unite.
And now it's time for
Ad copy.
If you're living paycheck to paycheck or struggling to make ends meet, the holiday can be a very stressful time. With Dave, you can get your money sooner, so you can spend more time enjoying the holidays with your loved ones, not worrying about how much money you have to get through the week. Big holiday in Japan really is New Year's. That's why the family is over there. New Year's is like the day.
Tell them to Dave it up.
Dave it up. Dave is the banking app that could help you get up to $500 instantly with extra cash. With Dave, there's no interest, late fees, or credit checks. Millions of people have already downloaded the Dave app to get the financial relief they need with extra cash. So if you're in a pinch, need some extra help during this holiday season, download Dave. Think of it as a helping hand from the future you. You can get money to buy last-minute gifts, catch up on bills without having to wait for your next paycheck. Download the Dave app from the App Store right now or go to dave.com. Sign up for extra cash account. You get up to $500 instantly. For terms and conditions, you go to dave.com/legal. Instant transfer fees apply. Banking provided by Evolve Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Why do you say all that? You talk way too long.
What do you mean?
Watch me do it. Watch me do the ad. Ready?
Okay.
Dave, it's bones and all.
Athletic Greens is bones and all.
Fuck yeah, it is.
It helps my wellness. I don't take care of myself as well as I should when the family's out of town. But you know one thing I've been doing every morning still?
Athletic Greens.
Athletic Greens.
Let me tell you my Athletic Greens story this week. A couple days ago, I wake up, I make myself an Athletic Greens, 10 ounces of cold water, put it in my scoop, screw the lid on, shake it up, go to sit down on the couch, check some emails while I'm drinking my Athletic Greens. I unscrew the top, I take a sip, I put it down next to the couch, and I put the lid on top, but I didn't close the lid.
Okay.
Went and did something. I think I had to get rummy something. Sit back down, pick up my Athletic Greens. Think, let me give it another shake. Maybe it settled down. Athletic Greens everywhere. Now here's how much I love Athletic Greens. It's on my shoes. It's on my shorts. It's on the couch. What do I do first? What do I clean first? None of it. I drink the rest of my Athletic
Whoa.
Greens. Most of it was still in the thing. I drank it up, cleaned it up. It was easy to clean. Didn't even stay on my couch.
That's a bonus too. Yeah, I mean it comes from water, mixing it with water, so that makes sense. I thought you were going to say you licked it up off your sneakers.
No.
You don't love it that much. I do. Right now it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens will give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D, 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. I asked Emeka, I said, you bring in the travel packs? She said, oh yeah, cheese bones and all. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/JRVP, athleticgreens.com/JRVP to take ownership over your health. Pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
Aaron, let me ask you, your daughter is 2 years old?
Yeah.
Do you feed her Athletic Greens?
Oh, yeah.
All right, good.
It's the only way she'll grow. Bones and all.
All right, if you're 21 or over and you dip or chew tobacco, pouches or long cut, got to try the tobacco alternative Black Buffalo. So I don't know about you. I don't just do online shopping, Anthony. I like to go in person for certain things. And Black Buffalo now is in the stores. You can be an in-person shopper. Yes, you can order online. We'll give you all that information. But now they're out in stores. And I know for a lot of people where dipping is a ritual, they do almost every day. If they want to go pick up some tobacco-free alternative Black Buffalo, you can go out and do it in stores.
It sounds pretty bones and all to me.
It's everything you love about dipping, the feel, the taste, the ritual, just without the actual tobacco leaf or stem. It's made from cabbage leaves. How about that? After all this time reading this, I did not know it was made from cabbage leaves. All sorts of different flavors at Black Buffalo. Of course, you can go to blackbuffalo.com and use the promo code JRVP. If you want to get it sent to your house, you can get a subscription, anything you want. You can also go to blackbuffalo.com and click on stores to see where they are near you all across the country. They looked high and low for tobacco alternatives. Even overseas, nothing delivers the same satisfaction or high quality. Head to blackbuffalo.com. Find out where you can get Black Buffalo at a store near you. If you're already a fan or want to try out the product before getting it at the store, head to blackbuffalo.com. Use the promo code JRVP, 25% at checkout for your first order. Best offer you will find anywhere. 25% off your first order. Use the code JRVP, blackbuffalo.com. Last time, promo code 25% off. JRVP promo code.
Isn't there like a thing you got to read at the end? You did it.
It didn't pop up this time, so I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Tobacco contains nicotine. And that was
Ad copy.
Let's get to headlines.
Let's get the headlines. Let's get the headlines. Let's get the headlines.
I love that headlines jam. I got to play that one every time. I also love it when golfers fight. And a fight between two golfers this last week resulted in one golfer biting the nose of another golfer in the parking lot of a casino.
Love this. Okay. What I hope for, I did not read the article, but when you sent me the headline, I imagined, let's say like you and I are golfing, okay? And we're done, we're walking off the course, and you're like, hey, you really suck today. and then I turn and just grab you on both sides of your face and bite your nose off. Is that what happened?
No warning? No.
Yeah.
I don't think so. It was
A fight where the first thing that happens in the fight is someone gets their nose bitten off is bones and all.
That's fair. I'm trying to think if you do have bones in your nose.
So it's cartilage.
You
and
probably
like a bone
can't
at the
bite
top.
through the nose. Like as body parts go in terms of what would be.
Well, the front part's are the
Tastes
soft part.
good.
That's why
That's
you go for the tip. You don't try to go all the way up. You don't go to the bridge. You take the tip off.
The front would be fatty, like maybe a little saltier.
You can get through that.
Just seeing if you're cooked. It sounded like they were fighting throughout the day. That's what they said. That they were fighting.
Like physically fighting,
No,
or just
arguing.
like, hey,
they
you're
were
cheating?
arguing throughout the day over golf that they played at the resort. They didn't mention money being involved, but I just gotta figure it's talking shit with money on the line. I mean, what else could get people that worked up? Unless it's just like talking shit about the other person's wife while golfing. Who really knows?
It's possible.
We don't have the answers.
Here's what I want to know. Okay, let's say two guys. All right, guy A, guy B. Guy B bites off guy A's nose. All right, now both people are kind of fucked. Guy A doesn't have a nose anymore. His nose is disfigured. He'll never get that back. Even the plastic surgery, it's come a long way. Your nose is going to look fucked up for the rest of your life. Guy B is known as the guy who bit off someone's nose. He's probably going to jail, I would assume. He's going to be a little lighter in the pocket. He's losing some money on this one. He's got to pay for a lot of things. Which guy would you rather be?
The guy whose nose was bit off.
Yeah, you'd rather be the guy whose nose was bit off and not the guy who bit the nose off, which is insane. Aaron, do you agree with that?
Oh, yeah.
You'd rather get your nose bitten off than bite off someone's nose.
No, I disagree with that, actually.
Okay.
Depends. I think it depends how old you are. Like right now, I feel like I'm comfortable enough in myself. I could live with that. Like if I lost the tip of my nose, that wouldn't be like the worst thing ever. But I sure as shit don't want to go to jail or pay. He had a $50,000 bond. He does potentially face jail time up to 7 years. It seems unlikely, but I don't want to do that. I'll live with that little tip.
I don't know. I think it's always embarrassing. No matter what happens, you could be like, I stopped a terrorist attack, and one of the terrorists, when I tackled him, bit my nose off. You're lame. You got to have your whole nose to be cool.
Wait, so you would rather be the guy who bit the nose?
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather neither one. I'd rather be chill and bones and all. But if I had to either be the guy who bites the nose or the guy who gets his nose bitten, I'm biting the nose.
Oh, I want to be the guy who gets bitten. I thought
We should
that was
hang
clear.
out. We should hang. No, it was clear, and it made sense.
It'd be Christmas, right?
It made sense that to be like, I'd rather not be the guy who bites a nose, but I just don't want my nose bitten that badly that I'd rather bite the nose if those are my two options. Aaron, you're with me. Your team nose bite.
Yeah, I'm biting noses all day. You know?
Okay. Yeah, I don't want that nose bitten. Like, have you ever seen a fight, like a physical fight between two guys, where one of the guys gets kicked in the nuts at some point in the fight, and the rest of the fight becomes the other guy trying to get him back? He's always
No.
it's just one guy just trying to kick the other guy in the nuts, and the other guy knows it's coming. That if you bit someone's nose, you better hide for dear life. You better cover up your nose and run away, because the next time you take your hands away from your nose, it's getting bit off.
Yeah, but it's embarrassing to be the person who bit a nose, too.
But people have to find out. You have your nose bitten off. It's just as embarrassing, if not more so, and everyone knows.
Plus, you got, like, you know how hard it'd be, like, the cartilage gets stuck in your teeth? Like, it's a whole thing.
But that's the rush.
Yeah.
When the cartilage is stuck in your teeth and the blood's just pulsing out. I'd rather be the biter.
Think about if this guy does go to jail, and they're like, what are you in for? Bit a dude's nose off.
Bit a dude's nose off after golfing all day. He's a good friend.
Yeah.
Now he's embarrassed. Day you get out of jail, go see that friend. Hey, I was in jail for 2 years, but guess what? Whole nose. It's bones and all.
All right, sometimes you just want to fight. I guess you could bite a nose, or you could just look for anyone to fight. A Pensacola man was arrested recently for barging into random homes looking for anyone to fight. He was arrested. It was in Pensacola, where we've spent some good time.
Yes. Shout out to Connor Grace and the family. I love this because multiple homes are involved. That means he burst into someone's home and was like, who wants to fucking go? And they were like, no, we're cool. And he's like, all right. Sorry about the door. And then went to another home. How many homes did he get to before he got arrested?
It's crazy. Usually I like copy and paste certain notes or write on it, but this one just went on forever because it was a spree and it's just a list of all the homes. So I'm just going to go through how it started on the original article. He started approaching a woman who was sitting outside her mobile home and just punched her in the side of the head. He
because if you're hanging outside your mobile home, you're asking for it.
he then took a ladder and like swung it and damaged the exterior of that house, and then fell through an open front door, someone else's open front door. One of the residents at a place next door, I should say, grabbed a hammer, ordered Norman to leave, and he allegedly left saying he would come back and burn the trailer park down. He then went to another apartment complex, began knocking on the door. They said, "What do you want?" And he just responded he wanted to fight him. I want to fight you. And they locked their door, and then they started ramming the door with his shoulder, causing damage to the door. I'm going to stop there. There's more and continue, but I'll just let you go now.
This is great because it's almost a full Donkey Kong. He's got the ladders, he's got the hammer. If he had a barrel, it's a full Donkey Kong. You don't see that a lot. But the idea of punching a woman in the face, then grabbing a ladder, swinging it around, grabbing a hammer, swinging it around, then going up to the door and being like,
"Yeah, what do you want?
Hello?
Yeah, what do you want?
I'm going to fight you.
What?
Open up.
Get away.
Telegram.
What do you want?"
Just open the door, I'll tell you. No. I'm looking for a fight. It's got to be you. I don't like the numbers on your house. That mailbox is tacky. I love it.
All right, you want me to move on? Continue?
Yes.
Down the street? All right, so he went to the next
Is there a
residence.
barrel involved? Does he go full Donkey Kong?
I forget by now, so we'll find out together. He moved on to another residence where the door was
So
closed.
the first one he knocked on, they just didn't answer. They were like, "Get out of here! We're calling the cops. We can't play right now."
Yeah, he damaged the door. There was two now. We mentioned, I think, that he locked the door. One, the early one that he got in where there was a hammer involved.
This feels like the Three Little Pigs too. Like he got into the House of Straw.
So he walked into
House of Sticks.
into another door, which was closed, but it was not locked. And then again, he started challenging two male occupants to fight him, chasing them around a table, threw a lamp at them and missed, then grabbed a slice of pizza before chasing one of the victims into the bedroom, snatching a phone from them who was attempting to dial 911, and then hit the victim in the head with the phone several times.
That must be the worst feeling if you're trying to call 911 and they get the phone away from you. You know you're getting hit with that phone. You know you regret ever trying to call 911. That
Who
sucks.
still has a landline?
That is
on
surprising. This is the end of the chase, more or less. But the guy who was hit in the head with the phone repeatedly then ran outside, and the man chased after him, knocked it down, and then passed out. So it's kind of a boring ending. Unfortunately, he just like ran into this fence, knocked it down, and then just passed out right there.
That would be great, is if someone's chasing you, they just beat you up with your own phone, you're running for your life, you turn around, you see them just dead asleep. They just totally ran out of steam. It's like a Terminator situation where the battery ran out, they're done. I mean, I wonder how much ground did he cover? Was it like a one block neighborhood? Or
Yeah, it was
he
all
running around?
it was all in the same block. That they were all essentially right next to each other. There's two right next to each other, and then one on the corner over. They cuffed him. He smelled like alcohol. Seemed like he had been drinking a lot, but he told the deputies that had a brain tumor and would need a medical examination.
Has he gotten it?
I don't think they believed him, but I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't believe that either. I gotta think meth is involved at some point in this. I don't think you try to like fight the whole neighborhood if you're not on meth. That's not an alcohol thing, unless you knew the people he was trying to fight.
He was drinking apparently too, but yeah, it could be both.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, but fighting, I mean, multiple houses. Maybe knock on one door. Once you hit somebody with the ladder, and once you beat them with their own phone, they run away. Let them go. You know, take a nap in their bed, maybe. Merry Christmas, bones and all.
I thought he was going to be get a special award for doing this much, but I guess not. I can't tell you.
Let me see what we got coming. Maybe I can give it to him. No, I got it coming up.
Okay.
Still on fire.
Sometimes Marjorie Taylor Greene gets into the headlines for just being wacky. The Georgia representative accused Walmart this weekend of, quote, grooming children by selling sex toys next to kids' toothbrushes. She tweeted out she was very upset that there were a bunch of dildos like in the next line over from kids' toothbrushes at Walmart.
Is that true?
I don't know, or I don't.
I had heard that she made the joke. I think she was trying to make a joke that you can now buy dildos and butt plugs in Walmart near the kids' toothbrushes. And then I heard she paused for a laugh that did not come. That was not going to be there. I think one of the reasons you shop at a Walmart or a Target is because you can get everything in one go. You can get a kid's toothbrush and a dildo and a butt plug pretty close to each other, because you get lost in those Walmarts. You got to go up and you got to be like, hey, where are the kids' toothbrushes? Where are the dildos? And now it's just nice that they're like, oh, aisle 6 for both those things. What I like any Marjorie Taylor Greene story, because I think that Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of the ugliest people in the history of the world. Not just strictly aesthetic looks, but just all personality, everything combined into one. She looks like, remember in the original Batman, like the Tim Burton Batman, when the Joker had to put on people makeup, like white person makeup to make himself look like a normal person?
I don't remember
because his
that
skin.
anymore.
The Joker's skin, Jack Nicholson's Joker is his skin has been bleached white, and he's got to put tan makeup on to look like a normal person. Marjorie Taylor Greene looks like the Ronald McDonald version of that. That she looks like Ronald McDonald, who fell into a vat to make his skin look like that all the time, and then had to paint white people makeup on her face to make her look normal. She is garbage. I can't believe she got reelected. I can't believe she's still there. I've enjoyed her fighting with Lauren Boebert. Is that how you say her name? The woman from the other congresswoman from
Boebert.
Colorado. They're not fighting. I love it. I want to see them both die, falling off a helicopter. Marjorie Taylor Greene tries to get away in the helicopter, and then someone lassos her foot, and then ties the other end of the rope to a gargoyle. So when the helicopter lifts off and the gargoyle falls off the building, she gets dragged down. And then she hits the ground, and you hear laughing. Is she laughing about this? No, it's a little thing in her pocket.
It's very specific. Do you agree, though, that her children, assuming she has children, I don't even know if she does.
She does.
Deserve to brush their teeth?
No. I think they do deserve butt plugs.
Right. But doesn't she deserve the pleasure or the joy of a dildo or a butt plug? And why waste the extra gas in this economy by going to 2 extra stores?
She deserves a butt plug, but not the pleasurable kind. The kind that are a little too small that you don't really feel it up there. You know what I mean?
No.
Aaron, you know what I mean, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when you first get into butt plugs and you try, you're chicken about it. You don't want to try the big one, the one you use now. So you use a really small one, and you're just it's up there, but I'm not really feeling it. You know what I mean? It's like brushing your teeth with your finger. You're getting the job done technically, but it's not really doing anything.
It's like, have you ever tried those foot massagers?
In my butt?
No, on the feet.
Then no.
Okay, yeah. Some they don't go as hard as you need them to, and some go harder. So you got to step up.
I'll tell you what. There's nothing in a Walmart that I couldn't put in my butt. If you start with a children's toothbrush and move all the way to the plug, I can get everything in there.
She was quoted saying, yeah, by the way, you can now pick up a butt plug or dildo at Target and CVS nowadays. I don't think it's at CVS. I don't even know how we got here. This is the state that we're living in right now, which, makes me laugh because, you can get guns at those stores, too.
Oh, you think? I don't think that's lost on her. I think it's just being upset that butt plugs are too available. Like you want people to have to go on the internet to get their butt plugs. You want to try them on in the store. You want it to be more convenient.
The fitting room.
Legalize the butt plug. You should be able to get it anywhere. You should be able to get it in gas stations, frankly. And I think she's lying. She's getting everyone's hopes up, thinking that you can get a butt plug in a Target or a Walmart. And I don't know if you can.
I just did a search of Walmart.com, and for sure they do sell dildos and stuff at Walmart.
You know what? Good for them. Good for them. Like a Duck Dynasty butt plug kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can see it.
I mean,
what's the outrage?
Right. Here's the thing, though. Like,
What do you vote
with
for?
trying
Stop
it
that.
out in the store is like when you buy them, the boxes are closed, of course, because that would be sanitary. They're locked up. But to try it out in the store, they have just like one that everyone uses as a sample.
And the little thing of Purell you can put on it if you want. I say, like, I'm old school in that I use the box with the butt plug. I don't take it out of the box. I just put it all up there. That way it doesn't lose value. I do like the idea of having to go into Walmart and being like, hey, can I get help on aisle 6? Can you unlock these? It would be humiliating. Good for you, Marjorie Taylor Greene. You people-looking Ronald McDonald. She's ugly. She's real ugly.
Last headline.
Marjorie Taylor Greene looks like a monkey ripped the face off someone and then stuck it onto her face.
Ugh.
I'm right.
Our last headline is about a 16-year-old girl in Michigan and her then boyfriend who contacted police because they were being cyberbullied anonymously over like a 3 to 6 month period, is now gone through the court system, and it has been revealed that the person who was cyberbullying them was the girl's mom.
So let me get this straight. So a girl and her boyfriend are the only ones getting cyberbullied.
Yeah, it's basically this girl, but it sounds like it was her and her boyfriend as a couple. It would include the boyfriend, and I think didn't like the boyfriend, so it was kind of like picking on them both. They're saying that like the boyfriend was a piece of shit too. And
Trashing her to try to get her, be like, you'll be cool if you get rid of this guy, but you're a slut.
Both.
If you're...
They won't release the actual documents of what happened, but they compiled 349 pages of text and social media correspondence implicating the mom.
Now, I want to get back to you in a minute with more details on this, but here's why I love this. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often, because parents are at the end of their fucking rope in general, and trying to, like, you don't like your daughter's boyfriend, like, you're trying anything you can, maybe let me try to message them, you know, and see if I can do it. Like, I get how that would cross your mind. And then you're just, this petty female high school bullshit gets into you. Even though you're a mom and you should know better, you just start enjoying it. You enjoy the anonymity of cyberbullying. You forget it's your daughter. You're just like, okay, let's see how far I can take this. And then all of a sudden she feels like the fuzz closing in. The cops are talking to her. She knows she's fucked. And then she starts doing crazier shit. She tries to do something to get attention taken off of her. She tries to frame another kid.
She tries to frame other kids by using a VPN, basically like hiding her IP address and everything, and pretending that, yeah, she was friends in the school. So the daughter was confused, but either way, she went to the cops and the cops figured it out.
And I would love to hear the conversation between the daughter and the mom after this. Like, that's a never talk again situation. Never talk again. That daughter is in therapy, and she's only talking to that therapist and maybe that boyfriend for another month before they break up.
They had already broken up, so I don't know if the cyberbullying, by the time it went through the court system and went public in terms of the news knowing about it, I think they were already broken up. I mean, that is a tough thing to survive as a high school couple. Then again, high school couples break up every like 2 or 3 months.
Of course. But
so
I would think
you don't need to try that.
But
out.
I would think for the guy, it's a free pass to losing that V card. She's got to give it up. If you're like, hey, I heard your mom got arrested, can I come over and watch a movie? You're getting laid for sure. What is the mom being charged with?
It's crazy. I mean, I think it's a felony. I think it's specifically cyberbullying. I can find the actual charge is a 10-year felony stalking a minor and obstruction of justice. She's being charged with all of those. And yeah, there's special like cyberbullying team went after it. I
would think that because it's her own daughter, there's no one of the victims, it's just the own daughter, maybe like the boyfriend a little bit. I bet she gets probation. I bet no jail time.
What?
And because the punishment fits the crime. Like, her daughter's never speaking to her again. I can't imagine her doing this again. That I'd be fine with her getting no jail time. Just like, have fun trying to talk to your daughter for the rest of your life. It's never happening.
I wonder if she gave herself away because she apparently was using a lot of slang and abbreviations associated with like kids.
Did she say it's bones and all?
She should have. This is not bones and all. Also not bones and all. She was the high school girls basketball coach there too. So they need a new coach.
I don't trust parents who are too involved in their kids' shit. Like they want to be kids again. They can't help themselves. They like this petty drama bullshit that I think if she's going to be happy about anything, the mom, it's that she's now the final JRVP Listener of the Week of the year. My last JRVP Listener of the Week I'm giving out as a 43-year-old. See you next time, everybody. And now it's time for Recommendation Station. Greg, tell the people what is different about this week's Recommendation Station.
It is our year end. I think it's the third year that we've done this. We're going to give our favorite movies, books, music of the year, TV if you want to throw that in there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go through it. Shout out to everyone who started following me on Goodreads, by the way.
Do we not have a song? You're on Goodreads? You've been on Goodreads.
I've been on Goodreads. I don't really do much, but I mark what I read. So people have been checking that out.
Do we have a song for Recommendation Station?
We never have before, but I do have a song that I just like that I could play right now if you want.
Roll it.
Good one. Good one. All right, so let's go. Let's start with TV because we both didn't really have much TV this year. Aaron, we're going to include you in this.
Oh, I got TV
for the year end. You have no TV?
I've got TV. Yeah,
you've got TV. Okay, I have three. I watched a couple shows this year. Nothing that I watched White Lotus, but I wouldn't be like, oh, it's one of my favorites of the year. I watched House of Dragon. Wouldn't say it's my favorite of the year. The three that I enjoyed are The Bear.
Yep.
I binged The Bear in a couple nights. Really enjoyed that. Can't wait for it to come back. The Dropout, about the Amanda Seyfried. I don't know how you say her name. Seyfried, where she plays the Stanford girl who did the Ceranos thing. I loved that show. Loved the documentary about it. You can't get enough of that one. And then Pam and Tommy. I enjoyed. My new thing is miniseries, where it's like 8 episodes. Anyone can die. You don't need to keep the actor for another year or whatever. It's just like this is self-contained. And I enjoyed The Dropout and Pam and Tommy a lot, along with The Bear. Aaron, what do you got?
I've got my favorite show of the year is Peacemaker.
Liked Peacemaker. Didn't like it. Was just I got bored after a while.
I loved it. Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings prequel.
Didn't see that. You liked it more than House of Dragon?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot less incest in this Rings of Power thing.
Ooh, miss.
Ooh, someone's anti-incest.
Andor is great.
I heard Andor is great, but I can't do it. I'm too cool.
It's not Star Wars. Look, just know this. It's made by the guy who made Michael Clayton.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Michael Clayton is the shit. Tony Gilroy? Was that the director? Okay.
Tony
Wow,
Gilroy
no wonder.
And his brother.
People love Andor. I mean, I know cool people who like Star Wars.
Sure. I mean, I think Star Wars just the cutesy shit. Miss me with that Baby Yoda bullshit. You know what I mean? I couldn't watch any of that stuff.
There's no cutesy stuff. There is a droid in there that is very lovable, though.
Is there a Wookiee?
No.
Get the fuck out of here. I might check out Andor. Maybe
there's almost no aliens.
Maybe during the break I'll Andor it up. But I have heard good things.
On Netflix, Murderville.
Okay, I saw a couple episodes of that. The improvised thing.
They just put out a Christmas episode too with Jason Bateman. It's really funny. And the George Carlin doc. It's technically TV.
That was good. I watched the first half, and then the second half I was like, I can't watch this. But yeah, I'm not going to knock any of those.
Yeah.
You had no TV
How
this
nice
year.
of you. Yeah, I wasn't going to force it with TV. You want to do movies next? Music?
Let's do movies.
Okay. I'll start here. I have 4. One I mentioned on the show, it was on Netflix called Audible, about a deaf football player documentary. I think it won Best Documentary Short, and yet I haven't found anyone who's ever watched it. It's fascinating. It's silent, essentially, so you're sort of living through the eyes of this player. It's about 25, 30 minutes. It's heavy, but I thought it was kind of amazing, and I want more people to see it. Number 3 is a movie I watched this week.
Wait, was that you only have 4 movies?
I only have 4.
Okay.
Number 3 is a movie I watched this week. Pretty sure you talked about it at length on the show. Now I want to see if I remember what you said about it. Banshees of Inisherin. Inisherin?
Yeah, loved it.
Oh my God, it's so good.
So good.
That was the one where you said you wish you watched it together, right? Okay. It lived up to it. I was having a tough day Friday. I dropped off the family the night before. I was kind of down about it and had a long day at work. Got back, put this on, and I wouldn't say it's like a laugh riot, but it is funny, and I just loved it because it was like great. It made
It's
me
great.
happy. It was really great. Number 2, Come On, which everyone should watch. Maybe my favorite Joaquin Phoenix movie. And then number 1, you got to give it to Tar. Tar's number 1 for me.
I'll go from. I mean, I just threw 5 down in no particular order. Banshees of Inisherin, I got that in there.
That was so good.
And I had to kill a lot of babies to get down to 5 for this one. Top Gun Maverick. I know it's like the biggest movie in the world, but I loved sitting in a theater and watching Top Gun Maverick. I could not have a best of list without having that on there. And then maybe my favorite movie of the year, if it's not Tar, it's Everything Everywhere All at Once. That movie, sitting in the theater for 2 hours, was like amazing. Loved every second of it. Loved the performances. So unique and ingenious. And I haven't watched it since because I want to just remember that first time watching it, how great it was. And then Pearl. Loved Pearl. Pearl's going to be a cult movie. Of all the great horror movies that come out this year, Barbarian was amazing. That was hard to leave off the list. I thought if for one horror movie, Pearl. Pearl is great. I've been quoting, Liz and I quote Pearl all the time. Liz is obsessed with Pearl. Saw it like 3 times in the theater. Pearl. If you haven't seen Pearl, watch Pearl. You will love it. And then number 1 is Tar. Tar has not been beat. I got to see Babylon. I got to see maybe Avatar 2 if I can during the break. But I'm pretty happy that these will be my top 5 of the year. For sure. Aaron.
Look at us on the same page. I really hope they bring back Everything Everywhere All at Once to the theaters because I still haven't seen it at all because I've been on like airplanes and that's an option. I'm just like, this doesn't feel right.
Yeah, it's on Showtime right now as well.
Yeah, try to see it in the theater if you can. But if you can't, I mean, just watch it. Aaron, what do you got movie-wise?
I've also got Top Gun Maverick. I've only seen 2 movies in theaters this year, but they're both on my list. Elvis.
Liked Elvis. Like the second half of Elvis.
Yeah, I think so too. The first half is a little too cut heavy. Barbarian, Prey.
Prey was great.
Predator.
Prey was on my top 10 before I had to limit it, narrow it down.
And then I included a movie here that has been out for years, but I had never seen it until this year. Nightcrawler.
Oh yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Loved it. Yeah.
I just watched that for the first time this year or last year. I forget which, but yeah, that's a great movie.
I saw it in theaters. Enjoyed it.
That's fun.
And that's a guy also involved in Andor. So.
Music we'll do next. I have 3 because 3 just stuck out to me. My first one is Vince Staples, Ramona Park, Broke My Heart. I've listened to it all week. I think I said it before. It was kind of the Vince Staples album I always wanted. I think it's so re-listenable. There's like 9 bangers on it, and they're all very different. To me, that was my favorite rap album I listened. And then a tie at number 1, Angel Olsen, Big Time, where she kind of goes country. I mentioned on the show, I watched it in person, and I've never seen a live performance like make me change my view of the music. But the album is awesome. I've listened to it probably more than anything else. And Sharon Van Etten, we've been going about this all wrong.
Okay.
She's just like a rocker. I would say it's kind of like a pandemic-y album. It's a little dark, and it's great. I really love both of those.
My albums, I don't even have names. I know J.I.D. Was maybe my album of the year.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
I love J.I.D. I love that Vince Staples album was incredible. But I basically had J.I.D., Vince Staples, and then whatever Your Old Droog put out this year. And Your Old Droog actually dropped a new one that's great, another 20-minute classic album. I forget what it's called. It's not The Shining. It's called what is it? Someone look it up for me.
Come on, bro. It's got the picture of the lady from The Shining.
Exactly.
I mean, this is live. If I was doing this, you would get on me so hard for this.
It's not true.
It is Yod presents The Shining.
Yeah. Okay, I was right. Yeah, those are Your Old Droog had an amazing year. I think next year's going to be even better for him. But J.I.D. and Vince Staples were also incredible albums this year. Nothing else from me. How about you, Aaron? What do you got?
I don't really have any music. I listen to too many podcasts to really get into much. And my favorite band, I thought was going to put out a new album this year, but they did not. Jimmy Eat World. They just put out a couple singles, but Something Loud is an incredible song.
Why do you think they were going to put it out this year? Because you thought it was 1996?
No, because they do every 3 years, and this was 3 years.
Okay.
So books, I feel like our list is going to be longer. How do you want to do books?
I've got 10 here, and I did mine in the order that they were released this year. I felt too bad.
You go first.
Okay. I'm going to go first. I'm going to go in order from when they were released this year. I read most things like the week they came out this year, which I really enjoyed doing. But maybe my favorite book of the year that I've been saying my favorite book, The Trees by Percival Everett. I absolutely loved it. Just a badass, funny book. Just one absolute favorite. And it actually technically came out last year, but I read it this year, and it came out in like September of 2021, so I count it. The Trees by Percival Everett. To Paradise by Hanya Yanagihara. She's the woman who wrote Little Lies, well, not Little Lies, A Little Life, that everyone loved years ago. And To Paradise, it wasn't as critically acclaimed. I loved it just as much. It's a little crazier, little sci-fi in there, but I thought the ending was incredible. Loved all the stories in there. Would love to hear more of that. Another one, The Candy House by Jennifer Egan. She also wrote A Visit from the Goon Squad. This is a sequel to that. It's kind of about people who like can take a pill that gives you someone's memories. So like I could like produce a pill that I give to you, and now you have all of my memories.
I still haven't read that.
It's great, and that's got very little to do with it. It's just all these similar characters to Visit from the Goon Squad, but one of the best books of the year. Paradise by Fernanda Melchor that we both read. Toxic Masculinity. Too. That's an incredible book. Quick read. Just a beautiful, beautiful book about a horrible people. The Twilight World by Werner Herzog. About the last guy fighting for Japan in World War II, who fought for like decades afterwards, living on an island. Beautiful book. Great lines in that book. Absolutely loved it. One of the most beautiful books of the year. Lapvona by Otessa Moshfegh, a book that stayed with me. A lot of people didn't dig this book the way they have her previous stuff. I thought it was hilarious and really enjoyed it. Still think about those characters and especially the ending. Dirtbag, Massachusetts. By Isaac Fitzgerald, one of the first books I recommended when we went to video. One of the best memoirs I've ever read, and only one of 2 memoirs on my list this year. And Dirtbag, Massachusetts, is a book that I would give to anyone for Christmas. A great present. Just people who don't read would love reading this book. Life's Work by David Milch, my other memoir on this. David Milch, of course, created Deadwood, created NYPD Blue, and now has advanced Alzheimer's. And reading that book was just heartbreaking and beautiful, and I wish there was more to come from him. The Lemon by S.E. Boyd, a book I recommended recently about a famous television chef who accidentally kills himself masturbating with a noose, and his friends have to try to cover it up for his legacy. Beautiful book, loved it. And then the last one, my last book of the year, my top 10. I just finished the second one. The 2 books came out this year from Cormac McCarthy. He has not written anything since The Road that he's published, but The Passenger and then Stella Maris is the companion book. Both of them were incredible, great characters. Love Cormac McCarthy. If you like The Road, if you like No Country for Old Men, read The Passenger and then read Stella Maris right after it. As closely as you can to The Passenger. They should be combined. Those are my 10 books of the year.
Damn, I can't top that. Nope. I just was thinking, I think the number, I don't know, I put it in some order, but the order doesn't really matter. I had Sea of Tranquility by Emily St. John Mandel. Was that on your list last year?
It would have been, I think it must have been on last year's list because it came out in April of this year, but I got an advance copy, and that was a great book.
I love that book. That was my favorite, like, reading it straight through experience of the year. And I would recommend reading The Glass Hotel before that. Yes. Read all of her books. I read The Glass Hotel after that. Glass Hotel's amazing, too. I like Sea of Tranquility even better. I think all of her books have gotten better and better, but it definitely helps to read them in order.
You know what, let me interrupt you for a second. Did you hear about Emily St. John Mandel this week?
No.
Apparently she got divorced from her husband of a long time. It wasn't a good divorce. Is now dating someone else and can't get Wikipedia to change that she's married. Because she once did an interview where she talked about her marriage, so they won't change it. She'll have it changed and they change it back. So she went on Twitter and was like, would some journalist interview me about being divorced now so I can change my Wikipedia page? And some guy was like, yeah. And they did an interview where it's like an interview with Emily St. John Mandel. And they're like, how are you? She's like, good. And like, are you married? No, I'm not. Got divorced, papers here. I'm dating someone else now. And that's the end of it. And I was like, good for you.
Yeah, I love her. Not that I know anything about her, other than just the books she writes and the little picture in the corner. She's awesome. I love Lapvona too. That would have been my number 2 book, but I'm not counting that now because you put it on. I guess we can double do it.
Sure.
Then I'm
double do it.
I'm going into books that weren't written this year, some old books, but they're worth reading. Death in Venice by Thomas Mann, maybe the best novella I've ever read. Weirdly about a pandemic, so it feels timely. Plus, my dad was named after Thomas Mann. Did you know that?
I didn't.
That was a perfect book. This book, Cherie and the End of Cherie, which was newly translated by the French author Colette. It's from like the 1950s. about a woman in France as she gets older and her younger lovers. Great book on aging. Portrait of a Lady by Henry James. It's a classic for a reason, and I'm not going to take you giving me any stink eye for this, but you're not trying to. Portrait of a Lady is awesome. Then back to current day. Joan is Okay by Wiki Wong about... man, what is it about? It's kind of a pandemic novel where basically this woman ends up living with her brother on a rich brother's estate. I don't know. You just sort of have to read it. It's like an amazing narrator. Check out the back of it. I love the new Sally Rooney book. I'm putting that on there. Beautiful World. Where Are You? I read that this year. Susanna Clark, Piranesi, which is just this crazy sort of sci-fi book that it's all taking place in these dark hallways where the ocean comes in every night, and the characters in the book are just trying to figure out where the fuck they are and what the fuck's happening. And it really stuck with me. That book's Piranesi by Susanna Clark. When I was trying to come up with which books, I was like, man, I still think about that book all the time. Queen's Gambit, which is also another old book. The Book by Walter Tevis is just if you just want a quick read, it's fucking awesome. And I'm torn. I have 3 more books, and I don't know which to choose for the last one.
Spit them all out.
All right. Wave by Sonali Darren-Yagala, about this scientist who is in Sri Lanka, and a wave from a tsunami takes away her family. It's a true story. It's devastating, but it's kind of an amazing book. Say Nothing by Patrick Rodden Keefe, about the Troubles. That's a nonfiction book. I've had many people tell me that they liked that recommendation I made on the show. And then finally, Rachel Cusk, Our Girl, Second Place, which I loved almost or maybe as much as the Outline trilogy, especially the first half knocked me out. So there's a whole bunch of books, and if we didn't say them twice, I guess you just gotta rewind.
And again, how many books did you read this year?
45 or so. I don't know. 4. I didn't finish many books this year, more than that's ever happened to me, 6 or 7. I think I read 40, 45, something like that.
I think I'm at 62. I got a couple more maybe before
That's
the
a
year
lot.
is over. A lot of them were books I read in a day. They were hard-boiled kind of crime novels that I just flew through. But yeah, these are my 10 favorite. It wasn't that hard a list to do. Killed a couple babies, and some books I read last year that I would have put in that Gregg had. But I can't argue
killed
with
a couple. I feel like I don't like throwing the number out, because if people are only reading less, those numbers sound big. I really built up to that. If you don't have time to read 40 books, you can still read 10.
I'm not trying to shame anybody.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm just saying this is what I do. If you want to be like me, be like me. Read, bones and all. Aaron, do you have any books?
I've read 1 book this year.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it's great.
What was it?
The Hobbit.
Okay. Is it the first time reading it?
First time reading it.
I read The Hobbit when I was a kid, and then was like, oh, I like this. Let me try Lord of the Rings, and hated it so much. It was not like The Hobbit.
So I do want to point out the website, JRVP Recommendationstation.com, is up and running. I checked it out today to see if they had our year-end list from a year ago, to make sure I wasn't doubling up. And they've got a whole separate page for the year-end list, and it was updated through our last episode. So if you want to check out the books we recommended, whoever is out there and updating that, we don't know who you are, but thank you. It's at jrvprecommendationstation.com.
And that was
Choo-choo.
Recommendation Station for the year. I think we did a good job pop culture-wise. I think we did a good job podcast-wise. Happy to be in the studio. Happy to be with my best friends, Gregg and Aaron. And looking forward to next year, 2023, when Aaron hits the buttons. And now, Walker, get me out of here so I can go get fucked up with Gregg and watch football. You were so close. You were killing it the whole episode, and then you ruined it. Maybe next year.